All right, more news in the with regard to the country ending. DOJ announces plans to prioritize cases to revoke citizenship. I'm in danger. Let's go. Which Americans are we stripping of their citizenship? Not white ones, I hope. Also, I don't have any other countries I can be a citizen of right now. Well, I mean, I guess I could if I fought for it, but not, like, immediately. Department leadership is directing its attorneys to prioritize denaturalization in cases involving naturalized citizens. Okay. Don't worry, folks. Don't worry, folks. It's only naturalized citizens. What crimes for naturalized citizens? Being Zoran Mamdani. Okay, at least we know what they're going for. On June 13th, a judge ordered the revocation of the citizenship of Elliot Duke, who uses they-them pronouns. Thank you, NPR. Duke is an American military veteran, originally from the UK, who was convicted for distributing child sexual abuse material. That's not good. Something they later admitted they were doing prior to becoming a U.S. citizen. That's not good. So that's why they put the they-them pronouns in the article. Yeah. Don't worry, nobody reads NPR. As for the due process concerns, Von Spakovsky from the Heritage Foundation, that's great, thank you, said nothing... Dr. Strangelove ass name. Nothing prevents that alien from hiring their own lawyer to represent them. They are not entitled to have the government, and thus the American taxpayer, pay for their lawyer. This is not a due process violation because all immigration proceedings are civil matters, and no individual, including American citizens, are entitled to government-furnished lawyers in any type of civil matter, he said. So basically, in any criminal matter, the government will provide you a lawyer at its expense, but for anything immigration-related, because it's civil, you have to provide your own lawyer, and if you can't afford one, they just hit you with a hammer until you die. It's pretty cool. According to this new memo, the DOJ is expanding its criteria of which crimes put individuals at risk of losing their citizenship. National security violations, criticizing Israel, committing acts of fraud against individuals of the government, just acts of fraud, like any act of fraud, anything at all, like Paycheck Protection Program loan fraud or Medicaid and Medicare fraud. Cool. Yeah, it genuinely seems like the American experiment is over. We're going to become a citizenship by blood country. Like it seems like they're really going through with this. I don't know if the Democrats are even going to fight it because they don't have well, they suck, obviously, but they don't have any like real ideological weighed in on it. Like their support of naturalization and you know, birthright citizenship is more based on inertia than any ideological investment in the value of that. Yeah, they're anti-immigrant whenever it's convenient for them too. That might be that, man. That's crazy. We were literally like, we with regard to this kind of policy, we're the center of the world. You know? In terms of birthright citizenship, the idea that, you know, like no matter where in the world you're from, you can come here and you can be an American. That's a distinctly American concept. We were the centers of it. It's us, and now it's not us anymore. That's crazy. The Statue of Liberty needs to go. Unironically, dude, like the Republicans don't like it. So Duke, the they-them pedophile, is now effectively stateless because they lack both UK and US citizenship. Well, I have to say, it doesn't really play well to the strengths of this article to make the person who's in a very sympathetic position be an extremely unsympathetic person, you know? Like, if this was a person who had committed Medicaid fraud, which, by the way, like, the greatest act of Medicaid fraud in history was done by a person who's a sitting Republican congressman. So the idea that this is actually like a meaningful problem for them is a no-go, right? Like, you're just choosing targets. Rick Scott, thank you, blank to the name. Yeah, Hassan Piker, the famous Medicaid fraudster. You know, if this was person who had, like, you know, they did fraud, whatever, and then they got denaturalized, then they were stateless. Dude, if you're stateless, you're by the way. Like, if genuinely, if you are stateless, that is it. This is the problem with nation states. The existence of a nation state demands other nation states to consolidate their own borders. You can't have a non-nation state I shouldn't say nation state, I should say just statehood. You can't have a non-state territory in a world full of states because other states will just gobble you up, you know? The jurisdictional boundaries have to be settled. They have to be determined. If you're stateless, your ass is... You're f***ed. Wait, yeah, what do you do then? I don't know. Guess you die? Yeah, basically. Nation states are different from ethno states, right? They're in similar ballpark, but, you know, kind of varies. There aren't really that many nation states. Israel would love to be one. Kind of. There was a guy who lived at an airport for 10 years because his citizenship was revoked. That's cool. There are currently about 200,000 stateless individuals on deferred action or pending cases in the USA. That's cool. There's a movie on that with Tom Hanks. Yeah, I don't believe I've seen it, but if a few more people in chat mention that the movie exists, the information might just beam its way into my head. Really nuts, huh? I don't know. It's a scary time, you know? It's a scary time. In a practical sense, I don't really know what the point of this is. You've got criminals, it's a bludgeon, you know? I really don't think it's meant to achieve any... When denaturalization was weaponized during the McCarthy era, you know, it wasn't really about solving a problem. It was about striking fear into the hearts of communist infiltrators, you know, whatever. People who entered the United States who were sympathetic to the Soviet Union. The idea was like to let them know they were on notice. I don't know. Nice century, didn't expect it to be Chinese. Good luck with that. You have any idea how few permanent residencies China grants to foreigners? What's the point of becoming a citizen? Well, you know, you get to vote. There are some benefits. Mostly, the point of being a citizen is to have a country in your camp. It means that you become that country's responsibility. When you're abroad, even, you can use their embassies. It gives you a like kind of blanket protection under that state. It affords you certain privileges. Does Trump want Mamdani deported? She doesn't say no. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, give me the clip. Give me the clip.
Peter.
Thank you, Caroline. Does President Trump want Zoran Mamdani deported?
I haven't heard him say that. I haven't heard him call for that. But certainly he does not want this individual to be elected. I was just speaking to him about it and his radical policies that will completely crush New York City, which is obviously a city that the president holds near and dear to his heart.
There's this Congressman, Andy Ogles. He wants the Attorney General Bondi to explore denaturalization proceedings because he thinks Mamdani could have misrepresented or concealed material support for terrorism based on rap lyrics he wrote in 2017. Does President Trump think this is a worthwhile use of the Attorney General's time?
Well, I'll let the president speak to that. I have not seen those claims, but surely if they are true, it's something that should be investigated.
And
This is pretty much a non-response. You wouldn't expect any different of a response from her. This doesn't really signal anything. Obviously, they're always going to be coy about it, though, because they want the, like, they want the fear. You know, they always want the fear. Coy? Coy! Why would I say goy? That doesn't even make any sense. Get offline.